ESL One Birmingham 2019.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is ESL One Katowice 2019, powered by Intel. I'm your caster, Moxie, joined with the wonderful Jenkins Dota. We're in game number 2. It's Test123 versus compLexity Gaming. We saw a very impressive performance coming out from the side of Test123. They went with a Terrorblade draft, and just everything seemed to line up perfectly for them. They had nice setup for a lot of these fights. They had a good vision coming out from Flea playing that Nyx assassin.
Yep.
So, and like you said, this is, you said it was like a team draft, right? The team that knocked them out?
Yeah, I think they took a good look at those games. No shots against like team, but I could see Test123 as feeling like player-wise that they are personally stronger. I'm not saying in my opinion. I personally, friends with the team guys, so
nice cover.
I'll favor those guys every time. But I could see Test123 being like, okay, there's definitely some like misunderstanding. Like they're playing the patch better issues. The thing is that is what makes like a skilled player. It's like drafting and understanding the patch. Like that is definitely a part of skill, depending on how you want to define it. So I could definitely see these guys taking like the bans actually coming out. Darkseer and Terrorblade. It's really cool to see team basically defining the NA meta by winning that minor qualifiers. I remember Nusham specifically saying to, I don't know if this is leaking, but he specifically was saying like, oh, I think because they had lost like the major qualifiers, they were trying to figure out like what they wanted to do next. And like what they were doing wrong. He was like, I think we're favoring Darkseer too highly. But it looks like they had a talk, and clearly like they're like, no, this is good. We just need to do this with it. We need to figure out, you know what I mean? Like basically they just still thought it was powerful, but they just needed to play it in a different way. And look, now it's first phase banned against Test123, a team that wasn't even running these heroes a week ago.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see that the way that teams are actually improvising and also just adapting to one another and seeing what's strong, what's not, what's working. And just, being very, very mindful of it. And it is really interesting to see, again, this is kind of the old NA boy stack, with, Sammy Boy and Nusham, Brax, and X-Might and all them. And, like, these are people that, like, they just figured out the patch. They're just good players. They understand what to do. Get that Phoenix Axe combo here, too. Let's switch over to the draft.
I did see, though, and Heen made a couple of videos. Check those out, by the way. They're really legit. He made a couple of videos, and in one of them, he basically talked about how a lot of people think that the best team is the one that figures out the meta, but it's more like the meta is defined by what the best team is playing. So it's also quite possible that team will come into this, and we'll see them later today, and they're going to pick a totally different style of Dota, and it's just going to look better because they just are straight up the better team. Like that's
some caster bias right there.
That is definitely possible.
Be our next game that we're looking at.
I'm just
saying,
upper
bracket after this,
dude. I'm just saying, man. It's Heen said it. The guy coached Liquid to a TI victory. So if Heen said it, it's got to be true. Maybe this just looks really good because team plays it so well. Although then again, it did look very good in the last game as well. But Test123, very capable team. They've played together for quite some time now. So
I love the way that they just have no fear in picking their core, like right off the bat. We got that first pick Terrorblade earlier on. We've got a first pick Phantom Assassin. They just feel like, we got this. We can hand it to Ritsu. Ritsu will be able to do whatever we need with it, and we know that the rest of our team, they'll make that space. So I'm guessing that's going to be a Flea on Tusk, right?
Yeah, most likely. He played Tusk even when that hero was garbage. And I think also picking the Phantom Assassin first is because this is compLexity's most played hero with a 75% win rate in this patch. So like these guys, they really, really love
playing. That's scary to fight into an axe, though, right?
It's very scary.
Yeah,
that's
some big cojones there.
Yeah,
going into this.
My personal opinion on why Axe is so strong right now is not because like obviously he got nerfed, only 30 armor from the Q now, so he takes a lot more damage. His spin does a lot less damage. In fact, like the blade mail even does less damage because armor is now more valuable. So if you get the blade mail and you return damage to an agi carry, they're actually going to take less damage. So technically, Axe is a worse hero, but when you consider that the best carries are Lone Druid, Slark, Phantom Assassin, let's see, what are the other ones? Anti-Mage. Like, every single one of these heroes gets obliterated by Axe in the game, and it feels that just with the buffs that these heroes have received, and the buffs in terms of, like, how Agi gives you armor, and how armor is way more valuable, they feel so unkillable if you don't have some sort of Axe hero that can eventually take them down with the Blade Mail. So I think Axe is just way stronger than he was, despite being nerfed, just because of these carries. So yeah, rough PA game.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, like we said before, we saw that the Terrorblade struggled a bit in lane. They were trying to match him up against, constantly having that Timbersaw in his lane, but they were able to reshuffle, and they made the space.
Yep.
But they're going to go for the Lich over here on the side of complexity.
Lich Axe is so
Lich
strong.
Axe and Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to lane the Phoenix with the Axe, probably just because I think Z-Freak on the Phoenix is like the perfect hero for him. You get the gold talent, you basically become a core eventually. Axe runs around, blinks on people, fights.
You got to make it to that point, though.
Right.
The other thing, if they're shuffling around the entire time like they did last game.
Ooh, that's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
That's great with Phantom Assassin.
Dispels the Battle Hunger, dispels the Lich Frost Armor. I don't think it dispels the Fire Spirits unless that was changed in the patch, but in any case, like you protect from all of the magic damage that is on the side of complexity right now, and just the fact that you can follow the Axe with the Oracle, and you're going to basically win that lane. I think that essentially forces the Axe to go for a double stout and cut the creep wave. I think if you're the Axe, you don't want to play the Battle Hunger build because you're just going to get purged by Oracle. So what the hell's the point? Just go behind the creep wave or behind the tower, cut the creep wave, get some farm. But then again, like if you're forcing that, the spin got nerfed, so it's like pretty terrible damage at level 1 now. So it's harder to ramp up to that point where you're like farming all of the camps. So it'll be interesting to see how they run the Axe.
And then that also becomes the issue, right? If you send the Axe off into the jungle, which, he is very good at jungling. He's one of the best heroes for it. But you're giving Phantom Assassin pretty much a free lane.
Yeah.
And that's very scary because the way that this meta is playing is just so fast.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you mean if like he's cutting and jungling, then she can just farm under the tower?
She can just farm,
yeah. That is true. I think that's a big reason like people were picking Anti-Mage against Axe too. Even though Axe is very good against Anti-Mage, it's just because you want to give AM a free lane? Sure, go for it. Have fun. So yeah, that's just a great Oracle pick, basically. It forces them into this weird, very, very strange position. And then Faceless Void against Oracle, too. Oracle can just, ulti whoever Faceless Void Chronos.
Yeah, I'm not a...
Disarm the Void,
I'm not a big fan of Void recently. I don't know. Like, I've been seeing... He keeps popping up, and, like, it looks like, okay, yeah, this looks pretty good, but I feel like a lot of the times he just doesn't come online fast enough, depending on which team that he's playing against and how fast they're going. But I think like you said, that Disarm is just...
Yeah, it's rough for him.
You have to make sure that Oracle's in there, and a good Oracle player is not going to be anywhere near that Chronosphere.
Yeah. I think with Lich and Phoenix, though, it's acceptable just because those two heroes will do enough damage in the Chrono that's like, sure, disarm the Void, go for it. It's kind of like putting all your eggs in the team fight basket instead of, trying to like outlane these guys or anything like that.
Ooh.
Doom.
This is a hero we were talking about earlier.
Not a huge fan of Doom. I think that I'm not a huge fan of like first phase Doom. I think if you're second phasing Doom, it's far more acceptable. It's just not as strong of a versatile first pick offlaner that you can have in any game like these other offlaners. Like, you kind of have to draft around the fact that there is a Doom, but if you have heroes that you want to be that tanky frontliner for, then Doom is good. Or alternatively, if you have heroes that can be a tanky frontliner and then Doom can go for the Shadowblade build, then that's fine too. But basically, like, you need to kind of know what your draft already is before you pick the Doom, I think. So that's why I think second phasing it is very acceptable. It's really good for just like, you Doom the Void, you Doom the Phoenix. Either of these heroes, if you Doom them, you don't even need to kill them. You're just going to win the fight by virtue of them not being able to cast their spells because they have to combo together.
Right.
Completely depending on this combo between these heroes. The only issue is like, if you go for the Vanguard build, how are you ever gonna Doom the Void? How are you gonna Doom the Phoenix? Like, they're so far away from you, and you're just this slow fat guy running in. It's like, I'm tanky, look out, I'm gonna Doom you.
Hey man, we don't fat shame here.
That's true. That's
all right. He is just a thick boy.
He's fat with a PH.
Yeah, there we go. That will throw back to the 90s.
Right.
What up?
I'm a 90s kid, dog. Dude, I was 3 years old in 2000, man. I'm a 90s boy.
Oh my god, I feel so old right now. Anyways, though, yeah, so we do get that Doom pickup. It's a little scary, though. Are they going to just try to dodge team fights for the most part in general, try to get some nice picks using the Phantom Assassin, Tusk Oracle kind of thing? Like, because it feels like right now, the team fight coming out, complexity, again, a lot of eggs, lots of eggs in one basket, sort of.
Right,
deal.
Literally, we've got a Phoenix egg,
we
too.
We do.
In the Chronosphere basket.
Yeah, there we go. And then Lich just throwing some frosty eggs through there,
They do kind of, it does kind of look, it looks like an egg.
Yeah, there we go. I've just summed up complexity's
God damn.
With one... What was a colloquial?
And Axe is scrambling the eggs. He's the egg scrambler. That's what he's doing. They're all laying eggs, and he's scrambling them.
Yeah, this is the official caster use.
All right. This is some top tier analysis.
Top tier analysis.
I think what you said is correct, though. I think they're probably going to look to just take these like small skirmishes and then take fights when they know that they're strong. When like the PA probably will end up going for Battle Fury, especially because it's Ritsu playing it.
Yeah.
get huge. Once they have items, once they take Roche, something like that, then you can look to fight. And with the Doom, if you can Doom the Phoenix or the Void, then you can fight. But I think if you just straight up fight into the complexity lineup from minute 1, they're going to beat you. Yeah. I think you have to be. If you're Test123, you have to be the team that's being very mindful about taking the right fights, as opposed to just kind of running in there and let's fight, guys. Nah, you don't want to do that.
I guess I'm concerned too because, like, you know, Faceless Void, they have the ability to make the space right on the side of complexity because, you know, Axe is going to get, you know, he's going to have call and whatnot. You're going to be able to get ultimates over onto these supports that do really, really well along with the Axe, especially if you can get all 3 of those guys together, and that's going to allow Void to farm up. And depending on what their mid is too, you know, they can also participate in ganks, so they can, you know, have a bit of time where they can farm.
I would love to see a farming mid.
What would you like to see?
Let's see. We got complexity. Let's see if I can guess this quickly.
Because, I mean, right now, like, Alina going into the Chrono would be good, but they also have that Doom. They've got Phantom Assassin who can leap right on top of her, slice her in half. And then, of course, with its Ember Spirit pickup, too.
I would say TA if Ember wasn't on the enemy team.
Because Limp plays a great TA.
I think Tinker would be amazing right now. I would really love to see a Tinker, actually. Ember's pretty decent against the Tinker, but other than that, there's nothing that can really kill a Tinker, and Tinker destroys PA. Tinker doesn't care about Doom, doesn't care about Oracle, doesn't care about Tusk, doesn't really care about Ember once Tinker gets some items. I think.
But do you think the gank potential is just going to be too strong coming out from the side of Test123? Because that's how you shut down Tinker.
Yeah, you do have the Tusk, and then Lich and Phoenix are not necessarily supports that could really help him out.
Ooh,
Viper.
Okay.
All right.
That is a hero.
Okay. I mean, it's going to do very well against any of these heroes that they want to lane against. In the mid lane, like Viper's going to beat an Ember, he's going to beat a Doom, he's going to beat a PA. The break is really excellent against the PA. Just take off that evasion.
But what do they have to hold her in place? Is the other question.
Basically, the Chrono.
That's pretty much it.
The Axe. It's Chrono and Axe. I think it's.
Is that enough?
I think it's enough. I think it's definitely enough. You do have the Oracle factor and the Tusk Snowball to save. Like, they have really, really good saves.
That's true. They do have the saves.
There's going to be a lot riding on. If you're complexity, you need to make sure that you're getting on top of these supports or pushing them out so that they're nowhere near the fight. Like and then you can focus the PA, you can focus the Ember. Probably don't want to focus the Doom. Maybe you could. You know, they have a lot of damage, but you really want to make sure that you're taking these fights really well. Like, you want Tusk and Oracle to be CC'd. You want them to be like stunned. You want them to be out of the fight. You want to kill them first. You don't want to just like run in blindly and take fights.
No, for sure. So which team are you favoring now? If you've seen the completed draft, which one do you think has the most potential?
I would say probably Complexity's lineup. I think that it's a lot easier to execute just because they have these, like, Void and Axe are both AoE stuns. We talked about, like, the supports being issues, but Faceless Void Chrono is so huge, and you can basically just stop a team fight and be like, I choose you, you're going to die. I think their lanes are really strong as well. But with that being said, I think Test123 looked like the stronger team in the previous series. No flame to Complexity, I just think Test123 really looked on point in that game. I think,
like you said, you know, they've just recently added Kit Track in, but the rest of these guys have been playing together for a bit now, so I'm sure that that's definitely part of it. And just, you know,
I think that, like, South America getting kicked out debacle thing probably hurt their, like, mental state a little bit. That's definitely something that you need at least, like, a few days to recover from, and just have that talk of, like, okay, guys, we're still a really strong team. We can go to America. We can win these qualifiers. Like, it's just a blow. It's just a big blow to you, to, like, you literally got first place.
This is so appropriate on my screen for my my tooltip. Even a defeat is practice for your next victory.
But, you know, they didn't even get defeated. they got defeated by Peter.
They got DQ'd. They got DQ'd.
And you know, I'm not saying it's, like, fair or unfair. I'm just saying it's going to be a blow to their mental state for sure. And they are human. It's going to take a few days of sleeping on it at least to recover from that and not be thinking about it during games. If they're anywhere near as anxiety-ridden as I am, it's going to take them a little while.
I mean, that's part of being a pro. Is you pick yourself back up, you dust yourself off, you get right back in there. So.
Yep, but does take time, does take effort. Francis is a big family man. I know that. He absolutely adores his family, spends a lot of time with his family, so I could see him just chilling out. All right, guys, a couple days. I'm just going to go hang out with my family, go to the movies, eat some dinner.
eat some dinner.
I don't know, man. It's a social... Dinner's a social thing.
No, no, I 100% agree. I think food is like one of the best love languages out there because nothing says like you care about someone more than taking the time to make a nice meal and then, you know, sitting down with them and like having that time to like, you know, it takes effort and it's nourishing for your body and your soul, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I agree, 100%.
And the thing is, when it comes to food, you know, you can look at the science on it. A lot of the taste that you actually experience is just based on psychology. It's like who you're with, the environment, all of these other things they play into it. It's the routine. It's like the tea. We've talked about the tea. It's like the tea. It's just all
the
about
smell, right? Sense of smell is a big part of that too.
It's so like the whole experience. It matters a lot.
Well, I hope Francis enjoyed his dinner with his family. If that indeed was the case,
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
Maybe that's, you know, team dinners too. That's a big bonding thing.
That is a big bonding thing.
A lot of these guys, I know they go for some Korean barbecue for sure.
You know, when I played on Leviathan with Francis, he always wanted to do stuff. He treats team like it's family. He does.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, he's a very lovely guy. He really is. I'm not saying that ironically. He's a sweetheart.
Always nice to hear about these good, wholesome boys in Dota, too.
He's a wholesome boy, for
Especially
sure.
after all the drama we've had in the scene lately. Right?
Oh, there are some boys that aren't wholesome. I can talk about them.
Nope. We don't need to go there. That's not necessary.
A couple of them are in this game.
Not necessary, sir. Looks like Axe going to be held into place. That tag team coming through as well. They've got that frost armor, though. Kitrak going to have to run himself back. They'll be able to secure themselves a room, no problem.
Look out, Phoenix. Use your armor, dude. Ooh, are they going to go for him?
They're trying, but Death trying to block them a little bit here. We'll be able to slow them down. They've got their eyes actually over here on Kitrak. Kitrak is very much in no man's land over here, too. They're still chasing after Z-Freak. Who's going to be the first blood, I guess, is the question. Is it going to be Kitrak, or is it going to be... It looks like it's going to be Kitrak, unless... Oh, Roshan! Nice. Helping a bro out. And a little kiss.
That was really nice. Gets to come back to lane. Full HP, full mana. He used 2 Fortune's Ends, which, by the way, does 120 damage for 75 mana. That is some insane math. And now we can use them again.
The slow coming out from this frost armor, and then the slow also coming out from Battle. Look at that. Flea is like in so much trouble.
Yeah,
it's not going to be enough to take him down just yet, but it's going to tick him down pretty far.
That combo is unreal between the axe and the 120 damage. Look out!
Oh, Z-Freak? No, he's got himself that stick. Death coming forward. They're going to force it back. Now imagine once they add in the Icarus dive with the slow.
Yeah, and get the second point in the this Fire Spirits, which does quite a bit more damage, doubles it.
This Frost Shield just does so much, especially with an axe, right, who wants to be right in your face. But there it is. There's the purging coming off with that Frost Shield, so Death no longer going to be able to take advantage of it. But 343 does not seem too concerned, knows that he's got another one up in about 17 seconds, and already this lane is not super comfortable for Test123.
Also, the other lanes are definitely favorable for complexity as well. I think the mid lane, obviously, you're going to have the Ember lose that to the Viper eventually. I think on the bot lane, Void is going to do perfectly fine against a Doom. That's one of the problems of picking a Doom, is that it's like you know, the hero won't die in lane, but he won't apply any pressure.
Well, not to a Faceless Void too, right?
Yeah.
Because he just walks off the damage.
So now you just basically allow for this tri-lane to be in the top lane without punish, just due to the draft, and due to a really good draft read from complexity too. They know that they can do this and get away with it. It's awkward. Everybody's level 1 though, except for Ritsu.
Again, we're just seeing a lot of trading back and forth.
Flea's level 2. I really think they could pressure with this level 2.
I just feel like Ritsu can't do that much with it. Like, he's doing a decent job considering what he's up against. But yeah, Flea immediately turns back around. There's going to be the root into place. Snowball comes out. They've got their eyes over onto Z-Freak. Z-Freak is in for some trouble here. Will be the first blood, but they still have their eyes over onto Flea. Can they slow him down? We'll be able to get Death to slow
just
a bit. They need just one more hit. Flea's actually going to make it out alive here. Oh, no, they got it! That last second hit coming out from 343. He's going to pay for it with his life, but I'm sure he's feeling a little smug. And comes Z-Freak again. He doesn't have any other spells. He's still level 1 here. So they can't get anything else out of that for complexity.
I feel like tri-lanes are just awful right now, just because there's so much experience that you need to get level 2 now. It's just so risky, and with how the creeps move now, there's almost always going to be a double wave going into the off lane, which means that if you're the safe lane, you're going to get level 2 first.
Look at this. Oh my gosh. Snowball coming through. They'll turn back around. Bump right into death. There's that slow I was talking about. The Icarus dive. They've got the Battle Hunger over here. And they've got enough damage, I think. No, that last Flame Spirit not going to be able to do quite enough over here to flee. Just as he eats up that Tango. Man, I feel bad. We're neglecting all the other lanes, but this is really where all the action is.
That's the thing with the aggro lanes. That's how it always is. The other lanes are just...
Miracle doesn't care down here. CCNC is having difficulty dealing with the Viper. That's to be expected, though. It's just all here in the top lane. And this Oracle, already, he's out of mana. He's going to have to go pop himself one of those Clarities and pray that nobody cancels it out because it's so key for him to have that Purge. There's a jump forward, though, coming out from Ritsu. They've got the Frost Shield again. He's going to be able to run himself away. And there's so much damage. Flea, again, going to have to try to run himself to one of these creeps. Creeps is no longer there, but they'll finally get that nuke coming out from Kid Track to get the final hit here. Now, Z-Freak also in trouble. Will have to go use that Icarus dive, run himself away.
The problem with running an aggro tri-lane and losing is that if they rotate these lanes, they're going to be rotating to losing lanes as well. Like, you have no recourse action, really. If you just have to keep going back up and hoping that you eventually find some farm. Axe can eventually cut the wave, but I don't know. You definitely want level 3 before you start doing that because it's just very, very little damage at level 1 now. 60 pure damage, it's not a lot.
This Oracle's completely out of any sort of Clarities or Mangoes or anything like that, though, now. Because he's just constantly having to purge off Battle Hunger or any of the many spells that are being thrown.
There's so many spells to purge.
He is very much a value pick right now.
Yeah.
Dealing with all this.
Surprised he hasn't suicided yet at all.
Axe trying to drag away Ritsu a little bit.
It does so little damage, though. That level 1 counter helix, it does like nothing. It's like 1 auto attack.
Runes are up and running. We're going to go Shrine together over here. Join up here with CCNC. Do you leave the PA alone?
You could... Oh, they're coming back. Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Did they smoke it out? No, they're just going to walk over.
They're going to walk over, yeah. And Tusk has 1 point that he's saving. He'd go for a 2nd point in tag team if they get on top of somebody. Maybe for ice shards to block off. He's just waiting to see. I like that he went for the snowball 2nd point. I really... A lot of people will go for like a 1-0-2 build, and then you just don't have the snowball for initiation.
It was a good save, too, that he's used a couple times. In fact, they're going to roll back in here. Ritsu has his eyes over here onto 3-4-3. There's going to be the Purge coming off, though, over on the Frost Shield. Ritsu, though, taking a lot of damage. Could actually turn around and try to get this kill over onto 3-4-3, but he's trying to block him off here into the trees. Eventually, the nuke's going to come through, but they will lose Ritsu, I think, during all of this. There's the Battle Hunger coming through. Yeah, she will tick down. And now it looks like they grab themselves a Tusk as well. Flea going to have to run himself away.
That was... The only kind of awkward thing about Oracle is that this Fortune's End has a 15-second cooldown at level 1, so you can see that he's using it in the lane to you know, take off a Battle Hunger or something like that, but then he doesn't have to take off the Frost Shield.
Right. You have to be very selective about when you use, especially at level 1.
And it's like because there's so many things to take off, it's kind of like when you pick multiple Doom targets against Doom. It's like, well, you can't Doom all of us, you know. It's interesting that compLexity chose to do the tri-lane. That's probably a pretty decent reason for it. We talked about the Axe being the problem because the Oracle.
Got level 6 online here for the Faceless Void. Oh, as we get a kill in the top lane, they do take down the Lich. Now it looks like they might actually find Ritsu here. Oh, they go for the call, but he jumps away just in time. That last little bit of damage, though, I think it'll be enough to take down Ritsu. It will actually take him down. Now Death trying to run himself away. They've got the Sunrise coming out from Z-Freak. It's not going to be enough, though. They'll be able to take him out, and now it looks like Z-Freak doesn't have that Icarus dive. He's going to have to flap those little wings away.
I think he's fine, though, yeah.
They don't have enough damage to take him down.
10 wand charges, Bracer. This guy's sitting on 1,000 HP, 3 armor. 1 for the casual Ring of Protection, which I like. Going for... Actually, it's not casual, he's building into the urn. But still, this guy actually has a lot of effective HP right now.
That Ring of Tarask added to the game is like absolutely silly, that item.
I haven't seen a lot of people go for that unless it's like somebody who builds into the Holy Locket or
the
no,
but it's still just like the amount of regen that you get out of it is
bonkers. It's pretty good. The only issue is like Ring of Health is also very, very cost efficient and then builds into a bunch of other things that you want.
Miracle. He's got himself a Chronosphere. Got himself an Invis.
Oh man, this would be the perfect target to go for too. CCNC is just reading this completely. Dude, Limp is level 8.
Yeah,
CCNC's level
dominated
5.
this. Well, yeah, of course. It's a Viper going up against an Ember here.
I didn't know it was this and this Viper favored. I mean, this is got like a 3-level advantage.
He wants to go, will go, use the Chronosphere, immediately Limp throws out the Viper Strike. That's just a dead CCNC. There's nothing that Kidrak can do about it. He's only level 4.
He waited for the Flame Shield to wear off.
Ritsu, they're diving past the tower. Nice blink forward, though. He's still farming the creeps. I love it. Trying to get himself away here. 3 for 3. He's hitting a lot of trouble here. There's going to be Sunray coming out. Can they heal him up in time? No. Snowball's going to come through. They'll be able to take down the Lich. In comes Miracle, and he's got his eyes over onto Ritsu, but that new blur, not going to be enough. There's going to be one. Oh, the Bash is coming out. They'll take down Phantom Assassin, and they'll get themselves a little more farm here in the top lane as well.
That Vanish buffer on Blur, pretty nice. Although they do end up killing him.
It's got a cast point now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They changed that?
It's got like a 0.3 second cast point, but I mean, even still, it's just like a phase shift. I had no idea you could use it like that until a few days ago. And I already was convinced this hero was... This is a hard kill.
Yeah, it's a Viper, of course, but they're rooted him into place, and they'll throw out the Frost Shield. Now it's almost impossible.
He's just gonna
kill he just kills him. He just turns right back around. And nothing can actually turn it back around. Sand King's trying to run himself out. He's got a TP. They don't have anything to stun him. Can they get enough damage? Oh, they do. They have it at the last second. Flee. Oh my god, someday I am going to remember that.
They're the same person in spirit.
They are the same person in spirit. They are definitely twins.
That's why he's got that.
They're twinsies.
He's got that in his name.
I always do that in the middle of fights. I just catch the last bit.
They became one, like goat.
You say a goat?
Goku.
Okay, I heard a goat. I was like, what?
Tanks. Go Tanks.
Go Tanks. Oh man.
And Trunks.
Dragon Ball Z.
Trunks. I'm forgetting.
Trunks and Goten.
Trunks and Goten became Go Tanks.
Yeah, Go Tanks.
It was ages ago.
Yeah, that's an old anime. Oh boy, Flea, you do not want to be here, buddy. There are some people here that could really mess you up. Runes are up and running though. So Lich still level 4. Yeah, that's a feels bad, man. They're a Viper Strike down here. They've got their eyes over onto Ritsu. The Fear's pulling her in. Is she going to be able to get away fast enough? There's the disarm coming out. They still slow her down. That's too much damage.
Oh, he slows
Lim's going to be able to go get that kill. Now Kidrak also going to fall here. And all that Lelis can do is walk away. Gets his drums delivered to him, but he can't help out at this point.
This is a stomp, man. This is what happens when you pick Doom. You know, you just get stomped.
I don't think it's all on the Doom.
I'm not a huge fan of this hero.
Careful, you're starting to sound like Kyle there.
Oh, man. Well, who did I predict would win this one? If I was Kyle, I would have predicted the wrong...
Yeah, that's true. I think he got every single prediction wrong at Dream League.
Poor Kyle, man.
Oh, they'll go for the gank though. They've got their eyes over. Oh, he gets the call off though. Look at this damage coming out. He's trying to take him down. He's going to have to go and slide himself away. CCNC, he's looking. He wants to get that dunk so bad, but he's not going to be able to. He's being kited way too much here. Yeah, look at this. They just wait for that last pick, and they'll take him down.
Nice bait play by CCNC there, actually.
That was looking pretty scary for like half a second.
Yeah, it was. He really knows his limits with this hero, though. You have to be really careful to let him back into the game, because he's not just any Ember Spirit. This is quite possibly one of the best Ember Spirits. Like he's at least top 3 Ember Spirits in North America. And a lot of people play Ember here. This guy mechanically can just do so much with this hero. So you have to be really careful about letting him back into the game.
I'm just waiting for Quap to come back into the meta, because that's a hero that Gwen plays very, very well.
Yeah, he's a big Quap. There's a lot of Quaps in NA too.
Yeah.
You know, actually, we talked about this. Remember how like Axe is playing up here on the top lane, which is what you would do in the last patch.
Yeah.
But you do this now, and like there's just this high ground in a shrine that the entire enemy team can just gank you. You'll never see them, and you can just sentry your entire jungle with like a single sentry. So like you can't ward it either, which is why Beastmaster's so strong. But basically, what I'm saying is, it's really hard to do the typical offlane thing of I'm gonna take this tower and then sit where it would be behind the tower, like between the tier 1 and tier 2, and just be obnoxious. Like you can't do that anymore. You just die. Like he's about to. I mean, this isn't super far up, so he probably can't die here. But if he moves up any farther, like he's putting himself so far out of position, he cannot be saved.
They already used the blur blink.
This is why a lot of people, when they take this offlane tower, you'll see them head to the bot lane instead. Instead of you occupy the safe lane, and then your carry comes and takes this area. Although they're actually baiting him with a smoke.
Oh, the smoke actually pops. Flea breaks it. He spots out that Lich making his way up. I don't know if they still want to go in.
I don't know if he saw it. Yeah, I didn't see Flea ping.
He didn't ping. I don't know. Yeah, there it is. There's the force forward. Break being used over here on Phantom Assassin. The taunt comes out. She's just toast. They can't do anything about it.
That break is so strong against PA. Which makes it sure your poison attack is just guaranteed to hit. 40% movement slow in PA. What's he going to do? He went for a 4-stat first on Viper.
I mean, it's working out for him.
Yeah, sure.
Just forced himself forward to get that jump on PA. Just to kind of follow up with You know, once Axe eventually gets that Blink Dagger, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, just gets him in. Eventually builds into the Hurricane Pike. Good for this hero. Honestly, one of the big problems with Viper is he lacks mobility. Like it might be something where he's like, okay, I just want this force to get out of an Ember Chains, to get out of a Tusk Shard. Just got to get out, you know, because he knows he's strong in this game with these Wraith Bands. Although, as I say that, he is definitely the target that.
Spooky.
Oh no, never mind.
You're going down on the low ground. That is some spoopy stuff here, Jenkins.
Dude, compLexity is totally ready.
Oh, there it is. There's going to be the snowball coming out. They've managed to go and grab the Oracle. There's not going to be any saves coming out. They do manage to get the Doom off over here, but they'll get off the Chain Frost as well. A couple of nice bounces. In comes CCNC. He roots up the Lich, but the Lich has already done quite a bit here. They will take him down, though, and there's going to be a nice taunt coming out from Max. He grabs two different people. They take down the Viper on the back end, though. Now Lella's forced to run himself out. They do have a beautiful egg. It's going to pop. They're going to slow down Lella's. He can't get out of this. No way, no how. He's taken out. Now it looks like Ritsu gonna have to run himself away from all of this here. One of the few people that's left standing.
It's unfortunate that when you Doom a Viper, you just constantly have Corrosive Skin taking you down for more for more damage than the Doom does.
I don't think he's the target there. I think it just ended up where they're gonna have enough for a Blink Dagger now for the Axe. That's big.
Yeah, that is big. I mean, this was all without the Axe Blink, and that is. I mean, we talked about how this Axe counters PA. You just blink on her, even without the Blade Mail at this point in the game, the pure damage is going to shred through her small HP pool. Ember Spirit as well. Doom is a bit of an issue, although they did manage to get him in the last fight just because they had the Phoenix percentage damage. And Phoenix actually is going to have a Spirit Vessel for the next fight. He can afford it right now.
Wow, that's actually a pretty wealthy Phoenix, right? Of course, and he's still he doesn't actually have that gold talent either just yet.
Yeah, he's just huge.
He's just balling.
He survived the last fight. He got the Doom pickup right after.
They know he's there. I don't know what he's thinking here, Lilith. The taunt, the break, the fear. See you later.
Viper is just so good against these like tanky, unkillable heroes. It's very similar to like the Necrophos Reaper Scythe, where a lot of heroes in Dota would just become unkillable with certain items because you very literally don't. You have enough damage to take them down to like the 40% mark, but then once they're there, they have enough regen to survive your auto attack damage. But with Viper, it's like if you get somebody below 40%, you will kill them every time. So like you don't actually need to have that much damage with Viper. You just need to have that initial damage, then he'll do the rest. So it's actually very hard to be. This was an amazing Viper pick, straight up. Viper is just so good as a counter to all three of these cores on the side of Test123.
It's not necessarily a hero that you want to play as a mid player, right? It's kind of like Razor, you just pick him because you have to, but he's paying off in spades.
Yeah.
Cole running right up next to Ritsu, CCNC, thinking about going in. They'll back off. They don't know where everybody else is. They're not showing on this map right now.
Miracle's looking really scary. When you're running away from the solo carry Faceless Void in your own jungle, you know things are looking really rough. 9k gold lead at 16 minutes. This is a tremendous gold lead. I mean, we've even seen games where teams are totally in control and they don't have this much of a gold lead.
This is big right now because this is going to be the Shadow Blade reveal for Miracle. He can find a really good Chronosphere here. Although he just walked right underneath that ward, but they don't have the vision. Lelis just gets taken down before anyone actually, like, they don't do a big fight here. Miracle is looking for it. Oh, the taunt comes out. He's going to try to look at Flea. He thinks about trying to go in and saving it, and he's like, no, absolutely not. Not with a Faceless Void. No. Just no.
That was super nice that Miracle got just in range for that.
That speed XP?
The XP and the Axe Dunk movement speed. So he was like, he was hasted. Is it? It's okay. It's 900 radius. I thought maybe that was something that got changed to be 1200, but no.
All right, this is looking. Oh, look at the taunt! They just pull her, and she can't get away fast enough. Beautiful play coming out of compLexity. Just a really nice blink. The follow-up with the Lich makes it so she just basically, it's not really a stun lock, but it is, right? Because it's holding you in place that entire time. She can't blink away. She can't blur. Just a very good synergy between these two heroes. And it's very scary because the map is so dark for her too, right? Yeah. She can't tell when they're going to be coming. She has to be very careful at all times. Plus, you've got the Shadow Blade now over on Miracle. It's
not really like a Terra Blade either. You can't really flash farm on PA too much. No. Without the Battle Fury in particular. The hero's not going to just go into the jungle, come out with the highest net worth. He cannot come back, especially with this build, unless he gets kills. So they need to fight, but I don't think they really want to fight into a 12k gold lead. No. This one's looking really over, basically. It's very rare that a gold lead that's this high at this point gets thrown. you just have to play like flowchart Dota if you're compLexity, and you will just get more and more of a gold lead, and then at a certain point, like, there's no way that Test will be able to fight them. I don't think they can fight right now. There's just too much HP on
I don't think we've seen, like, I don't know what they're going to be able to do here, right? Because we haven't even seen, like, the full-on combination coming out from the side of compLexity yet.
Yeah.
With, you know, all the wombo just going together. And, you know, you don't want that either, right? Because if you use everything all at once, then it leaves you nothing else for another fight, and you can definitely take advantage of that. I think that's something that Test123 actually would like, maybe is to...
Yeah, it's very convenient to be in a game where you have these, like, huge team fight ultis, and you don't actually need to use them to win the fights. It's like, well, all right, well, we have it up, so you just constantly can't fight us, and we're gonna get more and more of a gold lead.
So how did they get back in here on Test123? Because it's feeling real uncomfortable right now. I mean, granted, you know, CCNC definitely, you know, has a lot of room to grow. It's one of those heroes that can't do too much just yet until he gets that Maelstrom online. But definitely Ritsu is having difficulty, you know, catching up, and the way that they're playing is just so fast and furious.
Yeah, I don't.
Problem.
I don't see Test123 as having like some crazy late game hero like a Terrorblade that will just be able to 1v5. PA can do that, but she's like Alina. Like, she can do that, but from ahead. And sure, she's really strong right now, so it's very easy to be ahead. But obviously, she's not in this game. So what they need to do, I think, is they need to like somehow split up the map and then force compLexity to take terrible team fights and then pick them off when, you know, essentially force compLexity to make mistakes and not be grouped up, and then take a couple of kills. That's how like Ritsu's going to come back into this game, and then he's going to be that scary PA that, you know, is like one-hitting you and such. But until that point, like they really need to just look to split compLexity up and take a fight when they're split. But it doesn't look like compLexity has any intentions of splitting up.
They don't care. No, they don't care at all. They're going to go right into this Roche pit. That's going to allow them to go high ground, maybe take out this bottom tier 2 if they want. Because, you know, why not? You can take it. Why not? Why not take all the way through? But it's a pretty scary team for that Test123 to have to fight into, especially with that Aegis. I don't know what they can do.
Yeah, I think you probably just give the Aegis to Viper and
let him go ham.
Yeah, he's at this point has so much effective HP. They're pinging it. Nobody knows if he's gonna pick it up.
Yeah, looks like it's gonna be Miracle.
Limp's like, nah, man, I'm unkillable. I don't care. They were.
Well, I mean, this also puts pressure, right? So if Miracle has this Aegis and they decide to go high ground and he's just hitting the tower, they're afraid, right? They don't want to go too far forward because they know the rest of the team are sitting far back. They're waiting for that Chronosphere. They're waiting for, you know, Death to come forward, blink forward, and just use everything. So the pressure, I mean, it makes sense.
It protects from the Doom, too. Like, yes. the Doom really wants to Doom the Void. Dooming the Viper, as we saw, it doesn't really do anything. Dooming the Phoenix would be good, but he's going to be sitting on the back line. So you really want to just Doom the Void, and if he's hitting the tower, he's a very easy Doom target. So like you said, yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense, which is why they clearly like, had that discussion in the pit where he's like, no, like, you know, I don't want it, you take it.
The Crimson Guard online here for Death as well, and of course 343 has himself a sentry, although it's not going to help him right now because he's Frost Shield comes out. Viper trying to throw out some more of this damage. Oh, the call comes out. He's actually going to be able to save 343. They should be able to get a pick off easily on the Doom. There's no Doom. Does have buyback, but
he's the tankiest hero too.
He is.
He melts.
I mean, when he's sitting in all that break.
How do they? Oh, it's where's the sentry?
The sentry?
They just placed that sentry. How did Quinn get that searing chains off on the Void? That was interesting.
Hacks, clearly.
He's a hacker.
But yeah, now we do have that sentry placed down over here on the side, so they'll be able to keep tabs on Doom when he does come back up. And it just does indeed pop over here on Miracle. It doesn't seem too concerned. They're still just hitting away on this tower. They know that they've got great team fight here. They still have you know, the Axe who can go forward and call. You've got the Chronosphere. You've got the Phoenix. You've got Sunray. All of that stuff. They'll just take the tower. They seem pretty pleased with this. They'll back off. They know Doom's about to come right back up again. They can go and take these shrines out and just secure even more map control.
This might sound kind of stupid, but I want to commend Ritsu for not like freaking out and going to that fight. Unfortunately, they have to sack a tower and they have to sack a shrine and potentially the high ground, like the racks, but Ritsu knows that he just can't fight, and as a carry player, like his job is to just be that late game insurance policy. So he just opts to farm. Like he knows that he can't fight, because if you're a carry and you die like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times more than you should in a game, it's just over and you never come back, especially on a hero like PA.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that he's totally okay with like completely sacrificing his base in order to like, because he knows that at some point in the game he can maybe carry, as long as he doesn't just keep dying.
They so want to hunt for this PA, but they don't see her. In fact, she hides over. She doesn't let the courier see her, and she's actually making her way back over now. Looks like they're going to go for the jump, though. Again, they found Lelis here. Snowball comes out, though, from Flea. We'll buy him a little bit more time, but it brings him over to the high ground. There's going to be the jump forward coming up from Miracle. He splits up this fight so nicely. Lelis is just absolutely going to be taken down here. They actually don't manage to take down Flea. Egg's going to pop it. They're too far away to get that stun off, and now it looks like they've got their eyes on the Phantom Assassin. Oh, no. Ritsu in for a lot of trouble. The heal coming out over here onto Viper. He's actually still left CCNC now in for some trouble. He's trying to juke himself away, but Miracle, he finds him right out in the open. Good flight coming through. Manages to take down the Viper, but he's still going to get taken down by Miracle there. That is 3 of the heroes over on the side of the Dire. All 3 cores, actually, that are just no longer in existence right now at this game.
They do have buybacks, and I think without the Viper, if you're compLexity, if they all buy back, you probably want to get out, but
I don't know.
They're just sacking the rocks. They just don't want to use the buybacks. They would be at such a huge gold deficit if they did buy back.
They're already at a pretty big gold deficit. Flea actually jumping in, but blinks himself out right away. In comes Lelis. He's looking for that opening. He doesn't have the Doom, though. Manages to get the stomp up, but there's the Fear coming right back in again. Death getting into position. Manages to grab 2 of these heroes. Look at these dashes coming out from Miracle. He's going to go and dunk him right away. Now Flea running himself out. There's going to be the TP coming out. Ritsu, he wants to go after, but immediately that Shadow Blade going to be able to go and allow Miracle to escape.
This one's looking mighty rough. The problem with giving an Axe a lead like this is that when Axe is stronger than your team, like when Axe is more gold than your team, he functions as both that like single target / team fight pick off guy that's killing your carries and locking them down. Like he's an initiator. Yeah. But then also he can just frontline in these fights, and he's so goddamn hard to kill. We can see that the only reason that compLexity was able to get that Rax to get the tower. Chronosphere.
Yeah, that's a dead CCNC.
But in any case, this guy basically is just such a beefcake for his team, and there's no hiding behind towers when there's a beefcake on the enemy team.
Well, they've got really good follow-up too, right? Because he jumps forward, and you know, like you said, he's very tanky. But you've also got the Sunray coming out from Phoenix that helps to keep him alive.
Yep.
You've got Phoenix, who also has, you know, the has he completed it yet? I think he has. Yeah, he's got the Spirit Vessel, and then of course you've got Lich. So if they can grab the PA and they don't manage, like early on, you said that spin damage isn't quite, you know, it's not great anymore, especially like earlier on. But then you've got 343, who's just walking around with his friend Axe, gets that Sinister Glare off. She can't blink herself away.
Yeah.
And God help her, too, if there's a Viper nearby, because this is just, Limp is destroying this.
Basically, Axe goes in, enemy team reveals their positions, and then compLexity's other heroes just annihilate them.
They clean up. It's cleanup crew. Fallen in the Cavalry.
Even the Lich can clean up. Like, yeah. The Lich is cleanup crew at this point.
Yeah.
Got his Glimmer Cape. He's not that poor. He's doing okay in this game. A lot of the time, even in 19k gold leads at 26 minutes, you'll see 5 rolls with like Boots Wand.
Yeah.
This he's living the good life.
There it is, the jump forward again, pulling him forward. Again, that might have not been the best move here. I don't know. It looks like CCNC going to be able to get himself out. Flea taking so much damage here. He's going to actually get taken out. Look at the range on this Viper.
Where's the attack speed coming from? This guy's hitting so quickly on the Viper.
Lelis hiding over here in the trees. There's a jump forward, though. They found CCNC again. If they can get this kill, this is actually huge. Yeah, the Fierce Girl coming through. He tries to go in for the save. He's not going to be able to do it fast enough. And now Flea in the middle of all of these heroes. He does not want to be there. He actually gets stun locked up. Dunk's coming through. A little bit of slow being thrown out here. And yeah, there it is. GG gets called. compLexity takes game number 2.
Oh boy, that was a stomp.
It's interesting, right? Because the first game felt very stompy, and this one. So it all came down to draft, I feel.
I would say that's a really good draft from compLexity, and then more so, it was a really good read that compLexity had of the Test123 draft, that they knew they could get away with that aggro tri-lane. Like the fact that they went up top and they completely obliterated Ritsu, and with PA, that's not a hero that can come back. Mm-hmm. So, and then there's no punish for that either, because you just have a Faceless Void. Miracle literally didn't die that game. Like, the Void just completely destroys the Doom. And this is a hero that's traditionally a carry. Like, usually you want to support a Void, but against a Doom, it's like, what are you going to do to me? You're going to, like, slowly nuke me down in the laning stage, but I can just press my Q and negate all of that damage that you've done. And then, of course, the Viper's going to obliterate CCNC on the Ember. Well, he was level 5 to the Viper's level 8.
Yeah, he had a really great just start because, you know, again, what is Ember Spirit going to do against a Viper? And then once he gets that snowballing, you know, he's just so good against Ritsu. He's so good against Doom. He's so good against all these guys.
Yeah, I think you could definitely make the mistake of having this draft available to you and yet you lane, like, let's say the Axe with just the Lich, and then Oracle just purges. Or you lane the Axe with the Phoenix, and then the Oracle just purges the Battle Hunger. But when you lane all three of them together, it's like, even with the Tusk there wasn't anything that could be done. And then you're also giving solo experience to these other cores in the other lanes. And drawing attention away from the mid lane. There's nobody that's going to help CCNC if there's an aggro try versus an aggro try.
That was huge. They actually managed to shut him down just completely because they just weren't able to rotate anyone.
He always does a lot for this team, too. With like, Ritsu being the kind of late game carry player. This guy, like, is always the guy that just goes into the jungle, comes out with, like, top of net worth. It's like, how did he get that? You look, he has no deaths.
Yeah.
But CCNC, like, he had no way to make space in that game. He had to come back, but there was nobody to, like, make the space in the early game to allow for that comeback.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talk about, having Fleet, usually be able to make some space. But again, with the lanes that they drafted and with the fact that they had that tri-lane, they could not leave Ritsu, and it would just become a huge problem. So
exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, guys, this is a best of 3, though, so we will be back with one more game between these two teams. So definitely make sure that you stick around. And we'll be right back.